contacted by Trudeau's office, talked to him. He's in Germany right now on tour this morning, and he's like, oh, yeah, I'm a PrisonPlanet.tv subscriber, watch all your films, huge fan for years. And I had guessed that he was into the New World Order. It wasn't hard to guess because he sent some newsletters out I'd gotten copies of and talking about a one world government, New World Order the last few years. And he's a guy with a lot of influence. That's why the media and the feds have tried to come after him. How dare him sell books with supposed herbal remedies, things that are well documented, like garlic's good for your heart. Goodness gracious. And, aloe vera is good for burns. Oh, my, so radical. But it's just really exciting to learn that Kevin Trudeau is a big supporter of the show. He'll be on with us coming up. In fact, I appreciate him letting us bump him. Daniel Eslin's been so hard to get on the radio because he's been so busy writing his new book that he'll tell you about coming up. That's why I've been doing a lot of media, but he's about to start more because the book is basically done. And so he actually moved out to the countryside, he said, to finish it. Now he's going to move back into the city. That's why he'll be joining us by cell phone today. He's way out in the countryside in Spain. Boy, do I envy him. I'd love to live in the country. I tell you. Cities are fine, but I love the countryside. Nothing like hearing crickets and frogs and just the relaxation of it. Anyways, I'm digressing. So he is coming up, and then Kevin Trudeau from Deutschland will be joining us on the show today. And we will have open phones as well. I talk about things that click, pieces of news, pieces of information, pieces of intel that just confirm thousands of other things that we've been working on over the years and large pieces of the puzzle we already had. Forget connecting the dots. Routinely now I'll see a news story or an article or a bill or a government document or I'll watch a globalist conference on C-SPAN or Davos, Switzerland online, or I'll sit up for hours watching hours and hours of European Union Parliament meetings where they're openly announcing the architecture of world government and how it's going to work. And it doesn't just connect the final dots. It makes it a crystal clear three-dimensional hologram image or map or blueprint of what we're dealing with. And I just got slammed into my chair I got blasted into my chair this weekend when I saw a London Guardian report. I also saw a report out of the Times of London, and that was the most important one, dealing with a meeting that Paul Watson had reported on last week. And Watson said this was probably a eugenics meeting and then gave listings of past meetings, similar meetings that have been held where eugenics is the topic. And the ABC News headline was, world leaders meet in secret, but it's not for world government. They said, well, they met in secret because they didn't want anybody to think they were an alternate world government. The Times of London also says that. An alternate world government. That's saying we're not the world government because they met days before the Bilderberg Group meeting, and the David Rockefeller and others that were at this meeting went to Bilderberg. And then we found out about it a week and a half later, ABC News, last Tuesday. Paul Watson reported on it then and said it was probably eugenics on Wednesday. And that article's there. Because that's all they meet about. That's all these people ever meet about. That's all that, everything else they discuss at Bilderberg and at the inner councils of the Trilateral Commission and CFR, everything that's discussed at Club of Rome, everything that's discussed at the UN, that's all just building the foundation for their ultimate goal. In the final equation from the minutes and the documents and the witnesses and the moles that we have, and then the published reports by all these groups, is that they want world government so they can carry out the orderly extermination of conservatively 80%. That's in the UN and Club of Rome documents going back to the 60s. That is now the minority group, and most of the groups publish they want to kill 95%, and now that's becoming kind of passé, and the more radical group says 99.9%, and then an even more radical minority is forming, but becoming a majority that says kill all humans. And Dr. Pianka's graduate students at UT have defended him, and we published, linked to their published papers where they say kill all humans. We must build world government to kill everyone. I mean, these people are total and complete creatures from another dimension. I mean, they are right out of Hellraiser, Final Fantasy, Event Horizon. I mean, how else would you describe them? And really all they're doing is relaying the inner sanctums directives. See, if you were the ultimate control freak, the singularity of control freakness, you would want to kill everyone, and then including yourself. And many of these dark philosophers, we quote some of them in Endgame, they say suicidal nihilism is the way to go because they want to, you're a control freak, you then want to kill yourself. If you can't find life extension technologies, if you can't take control of that, and that's what they say in their own philosophy, then you will kill yourself simultaneously by destroying the planet. Now, I know this sounds totally nuts. It is insane, but crazy like a fox. These people are the penultimate I mean secondary. That's why I say penultimate. Next to Beelzebub, if that's how you want to put it, they are as evil as it gets. They are paramount. They are numero uno. They are just absolutely out of control. And I spent hours this weekend reading, probably 15 different mainstream news articles from Russia and England, the United States, Canada, about this meeting and about this group, and every one of the reports is an interview with an unnamed source within the group. It's one of the secretaries for the group, probably the head of the Rockefeller University. That's who they say ran the meeting. Yeah, these people's secretaries are incredibly powerful. And, it says we talked to one of the functionaries of the group, and they said, it's called the good group. The good group. And they want to reduce the world population, and it's, all lovey-dovey and sweet, and they want to help everybody out. So later, after Estlin leaves us, when we start the next hour, I am going to detail this as best I can and break it down. I know I spent most of the 2 hours Sunday going over it, but I listened to the rebroadcast while I was doing research, and I just didn't give it justice. So I want to try to boil down the basics of who they are, what they want to do, and then go over this article and just show it for what it is. Open evidence that that's all these people are up to is no good. And the sick thing is I get hundreds of emails and comments on the articles Paul Watson wrote at prisonplanet.com. A lot of people defending it saying, well, yeah, I don't think we should kill everybody, but you got to admit there's too many people. You got to admit we're overpopulated. I mean, somebody's got to do this. This is the tough choice we have to make. Well, see, once you've decided that that's the truth, you've thrown all humanity out the window. You've thrown everything our ancestors stood for out the window. You've thrown our complete history out the window, and you're capitulating to a lie. We need to innovate and reach the stars and colonize space. But instead, remember 2 years ago, the Film Festival Award for the Berlin Film Festival was in 2007, shows humans destroying the earth and then like cancer, virus, bacteria, some type of evil microcosm blasting off in spaceships to infect the universe. In fact, let's find that. I know Paul Watson did an article about it. That's how they see us. Not an incredible species, not a wondrous species, not a species that is evil but also good, not a species that has amazing potential. And we really do. This is the biggest lie ever, and this is done by an elite that hate themselves and hate humanity. And we can go to the next level, but the elites don't want to do that because they want to control society and want to mold it in the way they see fit. And so this is the big question coming up. This is for all the marbles discussed in T-minus 40 minutes, 5 seconds. Stay with us. We'll come back and tell you about some of the other financial news, Supreme Court nominee, a lot more than Daniel Estlin. Stay with us.
Have you ever read the ingredients in your skin creams, personal hygiene products, vitamins, or herbal supplements? Did you know that most skin creams, body lotions, shampoos, and toothpaste contain chemical additives such as sodium lauryl sulfate, the same type of detergent used in dish soap? Did you know that many multivitamin supplements are made from synthetic vitamins? Do your herbal remedies have unwanted additives and fillers? Have you ever tested your body's pH level?